Hi, I'm Tudor Morgan, Director of Expedition Operations at Hurtigruten.
And I am Verena Meraldi, the Chief Scientist, and we are both in the Hurtigruten expedition team.
Today, we're going to talk all about the Hurtigruten Science Programme. We know a lot of people are wondering about what it is. Verena, would you like to do the introduction?
Absolutely. The Hurtigruten Science Programme has one goal, and that is to increase our guests' curiosity, knowledge, and interest of the areas we sail to. We know that most of our guests love to learn about the facets of the destinations we are visiting.
That is right. So over the years, we've developed a science programme and we have science centres on board all our expedition ships. But there's one thing I have to say first. We know that our guests are not your typical charter tourist. They are modern day explorers. They want to go to remote places of pristine beauty and have authentic experiences of that certain place. Something different and spectacular.
Yes, and after almost 20 years of expedition sailings, we know that our guests want to learn as much as possible about the places they will visit. This is why we have developed our science program, step by step, to meet their demands. But participating is totally volunteer. You don't have to join if you don't feel like it. If you'd rather spend the day soaking in the hot tub, watching the view from deck or from the Explorer Lounge, or simply find a quiet place to read a book, you are more than welcome to do exactly that.
And I should add that participating is free. This is an extra service we offer our guests. But back to the science programme. Let's start with lectures first. For each destination, we handpick specialists and experts to join our expedition team that fit the places we are going. These are experts on wildlife, culture, history, biology, glaciology, photography, oceanography, environmental science and earth science, to mention a few.
These experts invite you to join in-depth lectures presented in a very educational and entertaining way. We call it edutainment. You see, they are not only chosen because of their fields of expertise. They are also great communicators that love to share their knowledge in an understanding and engaging way.
They will also accompany you ashore. To give you an example, you are on your way to Antarctica. While we cross the Drake Passage, you can join a lecture about penguins, and you are bound to see thousands of them when we sail in Antarctica. So one of our ornithologists have onboard lectures about these fascinating creatures. How they live, what they eat, biology of these birds, threats, mating rituals, how they sound, and all kinds of interesting facts.
Then, when we come to Antarctica, the ornithologist will join you ashore to visit a penguin colony. Here, you will get a first-hand experience and explanation about what you learned earlier during the lecture. It's basically a real-time lecture where you'll meet the penguins up close.
Then, when you're back on board again, we gather in the Science Centre. Here, you'll get the chance to, for example, touch penguin feathers and then investigate them under the microscope to learn how the microstructure of the feathers help penguins keep warm. This principle applies to all our specialised guides. Imagine all the possibilities. We also have underwater drones that allow us to share what happens under the surface of the oceans. A lot of people don't know what the sea flora looks like. And with our equipment, we have the possibility to take samples and investigate the underwater life.
As Tudor mentioned, we have science centers on board all of our expedition ships. This is an overview of the science centers on board MS Roald Amundsen and MS Fridtjof Nansen. Here you'll find a laboratory that is equipped with state-of-the-art microscopes. There is a wet area for presenting and preparing samples. There is also an exhibition area for larger samples. And there is a big lecture hall and an observation deck for guiding outside.
Yes, sometimes we have guiding or lectures out on deck as well. There will also be practical educational activities and getting everybody involved in science projects. These are parts of our citizen science projects.
Our citizen science projects are collaboration projects with research institutions, where you as a guest can contribute to research through sample collecting or counting wildlife. One of these projects is observing seabirds in order to understand how they use the habitat in the Southern Ocean, or help NASA understand what clouds look like from Earth with the Globe Cloud Observer project. With Happy Whale, we help identify whales and can follow them as they move around the world. We also record leopard seals in Antarctica. We also have 2 different projects related to plankton to learn more about what effect climate change have on plankton communities.
Sailing around in the most remote places in the world on a regular basis, we often have scientists and their gear on board when they are on their way to do research in these remote areas. We think this is a great way to help the research communities of the world. As a guest, you have the chance to meet and learn from these scientists as they conduct their collaborative science sessions on board and on shore on some of our expeditions. This is actually how I started working with Hurtigruten many years ago.
We also offer lots of optional excursions on our expeditions, and we try to make our daily programs in a way that you can participate in all that happens to get the most out of your journey with us.
So join us and discover the most remote parts of the world and participate in interesting activities to gain a greater knowledge of the regions you explore. Hopefully, you will become a true ambassador and return home to champion the protection of our planet's most fragile ecosystems.